Hi guys, and welcome to another one of my videos, and today I'm talking about the new Young Justice episode called Insecurity. Now, Insecurity follows the same formula that the show has been using recently, where they basically focus on the story of one team member with an overarching mission being the main plot and driving force behind the character development story that is happening in between the storylines. So this week's episode actually focused on Artemis. Now, Artemis is a largely overlooked character in my opinion for the show. I find her much more interesting than either Superboy or Aqualad, who I just find weird and completely bland, one-dimensional characters. Aqualad is the classic noble leader character, and Superboy is just the angry asshole kid who just gets on my nerves all the time. Although the previous episode agendas really did build on his character, and I'm starting to like him a lot more. While Aqualad remains one of my least liked character of the show. But on to the episode. So Artemis and Green Arrow are really becoming partners. They aren't just pretending to be friends or something. They're really becoming partners. They're starting to trust each other. And this is actually shown in the beginning of the episode where they actually stop a Spider-Man ripoff. Yeah, because this guy, he really looks like Spider-Man, and he almost sounds like Spider-Man. I mean, if this guy was given more screen time, I can almost guarantee he was going to talk shit like Spider-Man did. But anyway, they thwart this guy from assassinating a journalist who probably said something bad about a certain company that's not really named. But anyway, they stop the assassination of the scientist, and Green Arrow basically tells Red Arrow, or the former Speedy, that he is in the final cut and that he's going to become an official member of the Justice League at the end of the year. But Green Arrow also asks him, for the sake of making a better impression with the League, can you please join the team before that so that you can actually get some more respect from the people on the League? And Red Arrow actually does join the League, which I find kind of completely unnecessary, because just the fact that there are three archery guys walking around is weird enough for me, but having two of them on one team is kind of stupid. But at least Red Arrow is going to be like a temporary character, so he's not going to replace Artemis, but that's what I thought when I first watched the episode, but after the ending, I honestly don't know what's going to happen to Artemis. But Artemis begins to doubt herself even more and more as the episode goes on. Her mother actually told her that she begged Batman and Green Arrow to take care of her, that she doesn't want Artemis to end up like her husband and Jade did, and Artemis gets incredibly infuriated with her mother because of this, and then she even gets more infuriated when basically Red Arrow joins the team, and the whole reason Red Arrow joined the team is that so he can prove that Artemis is the so-called double agent on the team. What precedes is a interesting episode that involves both Artemis and Red Arrow in ways that I kind of like and that I don't like. First of all, I like the banter between Artemis and Jade, aka Cheshire. There is some really funny dialogue, and I really like Jade and how she's flirty with Red Arrow, and she just knows what to do to tick her sister off. I mean, she kissed Red Arrow right in front of Artemis, and she told him, what have happened to our last date? And Artemis just screams like, "You're dating?" And that was just hilarious. That part of the episode was just funny, how Cheshire just screws with them both. But the episode quickly takes another turn when Sportsmaster frees Professor Ivo from oh my god, I forgot the prison's name. Never mind. I'll just say he freed him from the prison. I'll tell you guys the name if I remember it by the end of the review. But anyway, Sportsmaster frees Dr. Ivo, or Professor Ivo, from the prison. He's assisted by Hugo Strange, who is also a member of the Light, along with others, and these guys are basically trying to combine the magic of they're trying to basically combine arcane magic with science to revive a tentacle that looks ominously like Starro, which could mean that Starro might be the big alien invasion or an army of Starros might be the big alien invasion in the second season of Young Justice. I'm not really sure how mind controlling Squid is going to be that big of a threat because yes, I haven't read a single story with Starro because I'm still a young comic book reader. I only started a few months ago, but I did watch the Batman Beyond episode where he and the Future Justice League did fight Starro in the two-parter, and that's basically what I got from him in that universe. And yes, I'm aware that the DC animated universe is a much different beast from the comic books. It took a lot of liberties with the characters, and Young Justice is much more in line with the comics despite some differences like Dick Grayson being the Robin here instead of Tim Drake, or that Zatanna is actually 13 years old when in reality she should be about Batman's age. It's minor stuff like that. But anyway, back to the episode. So Starro is basically this secret weapon that they're trying to revive because apparently Starro was defeated in a massive battle with the Justice League, and now only this small piece of him is left, this small tentacle that was saved by the Riddler, who escaped from the same prison that Ivo got out of. And basically, Cheshire and Sportsmaster's mission is to protect these two from the team that is comprised of Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Red Arrow, and Artemis. They're all trying to find out what Sportsmaster is doing there, and what happens is that at the end of the whole mission, there is like a big clusterfuck of, no, it was your fault, and Red Arrow basically shows off at Artemis as a insecure person in front of Kid Flash, who quickly, he doesn't like her anymore. Those two are kind of having romantic feelings for each other, but their relationship has been severely strained by the events of this episode, and I wouldn't be surprised if Artemis quit, because realistically looking at it, Red Arrow is a douchebag cocksucker, and I want him to die. Now, you can say that he's a badass, but he just seems like the classic tough guy. Like, I have to be dark, serious, and I have to make every woman hate me, because that's who I am. He just seems like a stupid Batman ripoff with Red Arrow's technology. I liked him in previous episodes, but his whole tough guy act got really, really annoying, and I genuinely dislike him now, and I really want him to die or get off the team as soon as possible. I was just thinking through the whole episode, dude, just leave this poor girl alone. I mean, she's already had a shitty life, and she doesn't need some asshole like you coming here spying on her 24/7. But basically, after the whole mission goes wrong, and Clarion, Ivo, Sportsmaster, and Cheshire all escape with the piece of Starro, they all escape, and Artemis returns home, and she finds her dad waiting for her there. And he basically tells her that you're never going to be one of them. You can fight Jade, you can fight me, but you can't fight who you are. You're never going to be one of them, and it's time to switch sides. And this actually puts Artemis in question. Was she really the spy on the team? Or... Oh, no. No, actually, I think Megan was the spy all along, but I'm not sure. It's still kind of left up in the air for me, but I'm kind of switching between Artemis or Megan at this point, or even Superboy. But basically, her dad, Sportsmaster, tells her that you're never going to be one of them, and it's time for you to go to our side. And this could explain Artemis's absence in Young Justice Invasion, because the roster has already been kind of confirmed. It's going to be comprised of Robin, Miss Martian, Aqualad, Blue Beetle, and some fish-looking dude I've never seen in any comic book before, and I'm still trying to find out his name. But anyway, Kid Flash and Artemis are gone, which could either mean that they quit this whole job or that they're off doing their own thing. But this plot that's happening right now could be the reason why Artemis is absent from the team's roster in Young Justice Invasion that's coming up at the end of April. So all in all, I thought this was a pretty fantastic episode. It's definitely much better than Agendas, but I never really liked Superboy, and I actually kind of liked that they tried to make him a more relatable character with his stuff in Cadmus, and I actually do like Superboy now than I ever did before, but I would say it's better than Agendas, but it's not as good as Image, that dealt with McGann's true appearance and why she has to hide her, true white Martian form. But the animation was fantastic as always. There was some amazing fight choreography in this episode, especially with Cheshire, and the dialogue was also fantastic. The dialogue between Red Arrow, Artemis, and Cheshire, that was just hilarious, and I laughed my ass off while watching this whole episode. And I have to realistically give this episode a 9.5 out of 10.